Guys, is your marriage falling apart and you really want to fix it? This question. So my name is Rachel Kelly, and my partner, who is not here right now, my husband, will be joining in on some of these videos. But right now, I just kind of wanted to get this training started for you and just kind of like get you going and get you started. And he will be picking up. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to create a three-part video series training for you to help you figure out, like, this won't fix everything in your marriage, but it will give you a good start, a good foundation. So the very first thing that we want to talk about in the very first video that we're going to go through is all about renewing your mind. You got to change the way that you think. If you think that, your marriage is done, it's all over, if you don't set an intention to make this marriage work, then that's exactly what's going to happen. And the longer that you take to make this decision, the longer it's going to take, or your chances of not um, fixing your marriage are going to be, it's going to just be more difficult to do. I mean, you can do it by yourself, but the key is changing what's up here. As long as you continue to allow negative influences, negative people coming in, telling you about your spouse and what your spouse is not, and I wouldn't be doing all of this and I wouldn't be doing all that, bad move. Okay. So that's one thing. The other thing is, instead of focusing on what your spouse is doing wrong, you want to start focusing on what are you doing wrong. What is it that you need to do to change? Look in the mirror and say to yourself, what am I doing to cause this marriage to fall apart? Because what we found was that in most cases, both individuals are doing something that they should not be doing in order to cause a marriage to fall apart. The next thing is we want you to start taking responsibility for your own actions. Stop and think about it. Some of the things that you said, you probably shouldn't have said. Some of the things that you did, you should not have done. It's going to be more about being more conscious about. That's what we're talking about right here, this mindset, being more conscious about the things that you're saying and doing. So, keep those in mind. If you're taking the wrong actions, you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, you got to change that, because all it's going to do is make your spouse look at you and say, you know what? He ain't changing or she ain't changing. So you got to get that really in check. The last part on this section is going to be stop blaming your spouse. Blaming your spouse. No, your spouse did this, your spouse did that. All you're focusing on is blaming in your problems in your marriage. I want you to take your mind off of the problems in your marriage. You don't even want to focus on them nowhere at all. Now, listen to me. 23 years, my husband and I were ready to call in, throw in the towel, on the brinks of divorce, ready to quit. But we figured this out. We figured out that it all starts in our mindset. It all started with us working on ourselves and not blaming one another. And that was the beginning process of us seeing things begin to change for us, right? So when your spouse doesn't, does something that's right, instead of complaining, um, start being grateful. Start saying, I appreciate you for whatever that little thing. It could be one little small thing that they did for you. It could be they picked you up some food and they brought it to you. And maybe they don't do anything else, but being grateful for that, the Bible says, you be grateful in the little things, I'll make you ruler over many. So if you start being grateful for the little things and stop complaining, I think you'll find yourself in a lot better spot with your spouse. So listen here. If you found this video to be helpful, what I want you to do is, if you're wanting like more marriage advice, either my husband can get on a one-on-one call with you, my husband and I both, or my husband by himself, me by myself. We just want to be able to be here to serve you and help you. So there is a link below this video. I want you to go ahead and click it. Jump on and schedule a time. Schedule a time where you can meet with us. My husband is more available in the evening times. I'm pretty much available any time of the day. So we just want to be here to serve you. So go ahead and click that link and look for video 2, which is coming up shortly.